Hi, Amy. I wanted to send this to you via video so you could hear my voice and see my face. I had a meeting with my therapist this morning, and I told him about what's going on with Blue, and that she gave a new reason the other day when you and I talked, and he kind of pointed out a thing that I didn't want to admit, was that if it's been 3 years and she hasn't wanted to come back in your life, then I didn't mean anything to her. And I understand, and so she probably doesn't want me to come back. And I have to be okay with that, I guess. About the thing that was new the other night, I hadn't heard that before. And there must have been a nuance there, because I really wanted Fern and Blue to get along. I cannot fathom a scenario in which I would have denied her that or anything. I don't remember that exact thing. But what most likely happened was, it was a holiday. You said it yourself. It was Thanksgiving, and she always had holidays with you. I'm guessing that you had probably said, or she had said, that you guys were having dinner with Granny and Papa or Aunt Sherm. Because I cannot fathom that I would have denied her that. I can't fathom that I would have denied her anything. I gave her 2 phones in 2 weeks. I bought her AirPods. I gave her a lot of cash because she said that you didn't give her any, and the timing is just really weird, Amy. It's like she started having the problems with the alcohol and the weed, and I became a fall guy. And my therapist is like, how can you not see that? And she's a kid, she's a teenager. Of course she's going to do that. And we failed her. We were not a unified front, and kids are going to try and play their parents against each other. I know she tried to do that with me all the time. When you guys would have, those big mom and daughter blowout fights, and I would just tell her, you got to respect your mother, and I'm going to take your mom's side, honey. That was always like that. In fact, that was like always her biggest complaint about me. She was like, you take mama's side on everything. I don't think that was true. I think I always tried to see her side, but I would always say, Mama's a teacher. She's got to get there in the morning. And because there's a lot of her complaints were like, you guys would fight in the morning, and I would back you up. So I thought it was just about accusing her of the ketamine thing. I hadn't heard this. The only 2 things that she had told me that were complaints of hers where she was really mad that we did not go to Harry Potter in 2020. And I couldn't remember until I talked about it with Mom. And Mom is like, Michael, Universal Studios was closed. It was the pandemic. You guys could not have gone. And that's true. Like, I can't imagine me saying no. I was so proud that like all 3 of us were going to go. I was so excited. But when she got angry at me, and that's one of my mental health issues, I freeze. And I don't know what to say, so I often just admit to whatever it is I'm being accused of, because I don't know. I can't think quickly enough, And I'd heard also that I took Jeanette and her kids to go see my dad's farm. And I can unequivocally deny that. My father has never heard of Jeanette's name. I never traveled anywhere with Jeanette, ever. I just don't know. I don't know where that's coming from. I probably did admit it to Blue just because that's what I do. I freeze and I'm just like, okay, I'll get it to stop and I'll admit it, but I never traveled with Jeanette, and I would not take her kids and not take Blue. I don't know if you knew this, but like one of my, I did not really want to be with Jeanette, and so I kept coming up with things that I thought, and you know, Blue was sort of right about this. Sometimes I use Blue as a shield, and I said, okay, if I'm going to move into your house, Natalie gets her own room. I don't want her sharing with Fern, because Fern was like, they're going to share, and I'm like, no, she gets her own room or I'm not moving in. And Jeanette moved out of her office. That was her office since they bought that house, and gave Blue her own bedroom. I stayed in that relationship because Blue and Fern, they gave me some serious guilt trips, and I was, I think I was a crappy father because I tried so hard to please Blue, because I had her for so little, and I was afraid if anything went wrong that she would leave me, or that you would take her from me. And I felt like I was so lucky for so long because she was a good kid. And then it wasn't until that ketamine thing. And I was so worried about her. I wasn't angry. I was so worried about her that she was going to take it, because she and Fern were talking about doing all these drugs. And I was so worried that it was going to kill her. I don't know if you remember, but I just asked her to, if she took it, to please throw it away. And I know she hates me for it, because I know she found out. She thinks that I turned her into the police, but I didn't. I had to prove that Jeanette assaulted me in my apartment. She threw a glass at my head, and I had it on video because I had the cameras pointing at the door, and they found that footage, and I know that they used the footage when CPS got involved, and so I know Fern found out about that and told Blue, and Blue thinks that I turned her into the police, and I didn't. It was like a month later. I had totally forgotten about it. I didn't even know I was charging the camera in there, but I didn't get to tell Blue that. I didn't get to tell anybody anything. I just got cut off. I mean, I know I make mistakes, but I lost my kid. Do you know what that did to me? I know nobody cares. But Blue isn't going to take me back because I'm the perfect fall guy. And I was so frantic about that time too, because all of a sudden out of nowhere she started saying all these things about like me being a deadbeat dad and me never paying you child support. And I remember showing her the app and showing her the website, and she said I was faking it, that I was photoshopping it, and that I was lying, and that I had not paid you child support. And she was saying these other things like I made you guys homeless on the streets of Seattle, and that I stole $100,000 from you in 2015, among other things. She knew like Monica's name, even though that's so messed up. She She never, I tried so hard to get her to tell me about, like, I always put her first whenever she and Fern or Corey would get in a fight. I would take her out in a heartbeat. And I know she knows this because people got so mad at me. I don't know. I just wish I could go back. I wish I could go back and fix what happened between you and me, because I think that was like the mess up. I think I was being a parent to Blue, but my mess up was with you. And you decided not to back me up anymore. And I'm sure I messed up. And if I did, I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. I tried to be accountable to you. I don't know. I'm sorry. I was so proud of our co-parenting. I think Jeanette broke up with me twice because I'm like, I was always putting you first. Like, I think one time I had to come up late at night. I think there were 3 things that happened pretty closely. One, you asked for the passport. You needed my signature. And I did it, and Jeanette had made dinner for us, but I said, no, I want to take it right now to Amy. And I canceled dinner, and I drove up, and I put it in your milk box. And then the other thing was that Saturday morning that I helped you move. I had to get out of bed, and she was so angry at me. But, like, it's like, she's the mother of my kid. Like, I don't understand. I'm sure I messed up. I don't know what I did, but I would fix it. I didn't get a chance to fix any of this. Dr. Miranda's right. Blue's not going to take me back. If I meant anything to her in 3 years, she would have. And I don't want to force her to do anything. She'll just resent me more. And he also pointed out that if she takes me back, then she loses her fall guy. And that I should be at least thankful that I served that purpose. I guess that's okay. Because ultimately, I just want her to live a good life and to be happy. But I really hurt. I really miss her. I'm sorry. I wanted to give you this and not send another email or text. I'm not going to do anything with the attorney. It doesn't make sense. I could give you that money, or I could give it to Blue, put it in a savings account. You know what Chris said to me was just that if she's not going to want you back now, the best thing you could do is put her in a savings account and give it to her in 20-some years. That I can't win anyway. That I'm in an impossible situation, that if I don't try, she'll hate me for not trying, and I get that. And if I do try, she'll hate me for, or resent me for trying to force her, and I get that too. I just miss her. I don't know if you can even understand what it's like. I'm sorry whatever happened between us. I tried so hard to be a really good ex-husband, and I was so proud to be a co-parent. And that's why, like, I had to put you first with all, like, anybody I dated. It was like, no, like, my priorities are Blue, and then Amy, and then you. I said to my parents too. I wanted to redeem myself, and I wanted to be the best for Blue because I didn't want what my parents did. Played us against each other, and it was awful. I don't know if you're still watching. If you are, I'm sorry. But thank you for listening, and I won't text you anymore. I won't bug you anymore. If she does, I'm here and I'm listening. But Dr. Miranda, who is also like a family therapist, he was like, be careful because you're giving that girl all the power. And if she gets in trouble again, she's going to use you because she knows that she can. She knows that you're afraid to lose her, which I am, and I was. And she knows that Mama will believe her. I'm so sorry. I miss you guys. Bye.